Welcome back to In the Box. I'm Sandy Plashkis. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at Ownersbox and head down below to like, comment, and subscribe to let YouTube know that we are fire.
Welcome to In the Box. I am your new host today. Sandy gave me the keys to the driver's seat. I was very happy with got the call today, especially with Avery's new employee in the office today.
Well, congratulations, Jeremy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So today we'll be talking about the MLB trade deadline.
Yep.
Obviously, it ended at 4 today.
Yep.
So we had a couple big moves happening. We're also going to be talking about a few other things happening in the sports industry.
Yep.
And that's it. So, Avery, what should we start off with today?
I think the biggest news of the day definitely has to be the Clevenger trade.
Massive trade. Padres are starting to make some moves. Looks like they're going for a title run.
Yep.
Would you break down the trade for us?
All right. So I'm saying, obviously, they're retooling their roster now.
Mm-hmm.
First postseason run over a decade I have. So their first big trade today. They made some trades earlier this week.
Yep.
Today, Mike Clevenger, great starter from the Indians, hasn't pitched in a little bit. So the Padres acquire Mike Clevenger, Greg Allen, and a player to be named later. Back to Cleveland, Austin Hedges, catcher, played a little bit this year. Pretty good player. I don't hate that return. Josh Naylor,
Canadian boy.
Was a personal friend of mine. Not a big deal. Cal Quantrill, another 2 Canadian kids in a row going back to Cleveland, and then 3 minor leaguers.
So a couple Canadians going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Any insider information on Naylor and Cal Quantrill, who was a Terriers alumni from
Not as
Port
good
Hope.
as Ontario Blue Jays, though.
No.
Josh Naylor,
not
happy for him. He's reunited with his brother, also first-round pick of Cleveland. They'll be going back. So they said he's going to be the starting left fielder for the rest of the year. And Cleveland's in a good position to make another playoff run. So I'm happy for him and hope he can have a lot of success there.
Yeah. I find Cleveland is always making moves at the deadline every year. I feel like they're that one team that always reshapes the roster.
Yeah, and there was rumors today of Lindor possibly going to. I don't know what that's all about. I think they're just not going to pay him.
Yeah, there's been
obviously like
rumors for 2
Clevenger,
years.
but like face of the franchise type guy. Who knows like what they're doing? But you know what? I think San Diego won that one so far.
So what do we think about the Padres? Do we think they can actually make a run?
Absolutely.
I consider myself, I've always, not trying to be biased because I have Clevenger on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
But I've always seen him since last year as a top 6 starting pitcher when healthy.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. He's got a little funky delivery there. He likes to show off a little bit, the glove and the cleats. And I think you'll fit in perfectly there in San Diego with that young core.
Yeah. So we're all in on San Diego.
Love it.
So next up, what do you think about them and the catcher situation? I think at some point during this trade deadline, they had 4 catchers on their roster.
Just might as well just take one in, ship one off. Who cares? They're just trying to figure that out.
But yeah, okay. I thought it was a little weird, but then I saw they got rid of Hedges.
Yeah.
They pretty much just brought in a completely new catcher core, starting and backup catcher.
Hopefully it works out for them.
So obviously they weren't a big fan of Austin Hedges. So another big team that kind of, Oakland A's, they're first place right now.
Yeah, they are.
And they acquired Mike Minor. So what's the breakdown on that trade?
You got Mike Minor heading to Oakland from Texas for 2 players to be named later. So who knows what they'll get in there. Minor, kind of an older pitcher, a little bit of a resurgence in the career when he went back to Texas. So I think it's a good pickup for Oakland, who's kind of looking for some starting pitching.
Is Mike Minor not like the definition of a Oakland A's pitcher?
Yeah.
Old, kind of no-name guy, gets the job done.
I don't hate that comparison at all.
I think it was a good value pickup. Obviously, 2 players to be named later.
Yeah.
Obviously, those players aren't going to be very good. So if they were good, they would be named.
Yeah, but I don't hate that.
That's usually how I take it. When it says player to be named later, it's just too shitty to announce. That's kind of how I take it.
Yeah,
I don't know how you take it.
We need to change that acronym there for too shitty to be announced.
Too shitty to be announced. And they acquired a good utility guy from the Angels, Tony La Stella.
Yeah, Tommy La Stella going there. He's got to clear COVID protocols first. but they were trading him for Frank and Barreto, who's another utility guy.
Okay.
They're kind of just swapping out two guys who haven't been that successful in their respective homes.
I like what Oakland's doing. I mean, they got a good squad. They got a good starting. That baby Jesus, that's his nickname. Taking his nickname is Baby Jesus. Eddie, what do you think of that?
I think that's a really smart nickname.
I mean, his name is what? I'm gonna mispronounce
Jesus Luzardo.
Jesus Luzardo. That guy is nasty.
Yeah, throws Chad from the left side.
I
love to see it.
I love when you might have to search them up when they wear you wear them, Avery.
Yeah,
like
the Kelly Green jerseys.
And the glasses, the goggles,
the Oakleys.
sort of. Yeah, the Oakleys, the clear Oakleys. They just.
He looks fucking good.
And what does he throw? Like 90.
I saw he was. Oh, yeah. That's Kelly Green.
Oh,
Go.
Jesus Luzardo. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's pretty good.
I'm usually pretty bad with my pronunciations. Eddie can.
Fuck, we should have done this.
Yeah, we should have done that. There he is.
Yeah.
I know I'm not getting chirped on the podcast.
But yeah, I've been eyeing this guy out since he was a prospect, and
he was last year in that wild card game against the Rays. They were down a little bit. He threw like 2-3 innings, I think. He was electric, and ever since then, he's pitched well this year.
I think Oakland could. I mean, they joke that they never get fans, so it kind of plays in their favor, which is just a classic chirp.
Like them in Tampa.
Yeah, them in Tampa are actually they benefit from COVID.
Yeah.
But Oakland was 3 straight wild card loss or 2?
No idea.
I think it's 2 straight wild card loss. Now they're first place. It's a big jump for them.
Yeah. Hopefully they can keep this rolling into. There's not too many games left, but they look primed to make a nice push this year.
Definitely. So next up we got the Jays. Now they've been hot.
Yeah.
I'm a Jays fan myself. And watching them now. They're hot, but their schedule has been shitty. Let's be honest.
They got like 3 series with the Yankees in September.
Yes. So every time I turn on the screen, they're playing the Orioles.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well,
Marlins.
come on. Yeah. Marlins and Orioles. When you're playing those 2 teams, I expect W's. But no, they've been hot. They're over 500 now.
Yeah.
Ryu's starting to get some form.
Yeah,
He's been pitching lights out. Kevin Biggio is turning into a stud.
Yeah, he's real good for the fantasy pickups too.
Oh yeah. He's first. Take this in. He is first on our platform for season average this year.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal. Pick up Kevin Biggio if you're second baseman slot. But no, Bo Bichette's out. They've been showing Grichuk's been playing well. I'm not a big fan of Grichuk.
I think with the moves the Jays made today that they assume Bo's going to be out for a little longer than they thought.
So break it down for us. So who did they get and who were they in the running for?
Okay, so they were in the running for Lanston. They're looking for some starting pitching. They got Jonathan VR from Miami.
Yeah.
Robbie Ray from Arizona, and then Daniel Vogelbach and Taiwan Walker from Seattle. All of these, there's no big names going the other way. These are all kind of rental players. I don't see them being huge for the Jays for multiple years, but I like VR as a utility man. Robbie Ray, don't look at his stats for this year, but before he's been a pretty good pitcher.
I like Robbie Ray. I mean, he's a guy who they probably saw who eats innings.
Yeah.
He gets deep into games, and we all know that the Jays do not have a strong bullpen.
No.
So they were looking for a guy. We think Lance Lynn is a perfect guy who eats innings and goes deep into games, which is what they wanted.
Another resurgence pitcher who went to Texas and got better, but we'll have to see. Robbie Ray, decent pickup. Hopefully he can turn his season around. Taiwan Walker was electric in his first half for the Jays, 6 scoreless. Daniel Vogelbach, great year last year. Pretty sure he was an all-star last year.
He was fucking mashing the ball last year.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't look great in those baby blues today, but it's all right. We'll get used to it.
Yeah. So Jonathan Villar, he's a guy who
add some team speed.
A Marlins executive actually compared him to Ronald Acuna Jr. Now, do you see a resemblance between those two?
The Marlins exec did that?
Yeah.
They're dumb.
That is a very dumb comparison.
Jonathan Villar, different positions. Let's search up how old he is.
Jonathan Villar, he swipes bags.
Yeah, he does. He's good for the team speed. I like the pickup.
And who did they give up for that?
Just some minor league
player to be named later, probably.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. The insider didn't even know who we traded, but it's okay. So now I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, and you just said it. Taiwan Walker?
Taiwan Walker.
Okay, Taiwan Walker. Do you think it was a fluke start? I mean, he had Did he have Tommy John last year?
I have no idea.
He was out for the whole
He's
year.
good. He went from Arizona to Seattle. Decent. Okay. He was a big name prospect.
Yeah.
Still hasn't really panned out too well.
Yeah.
But big bodied guy.
He is a big boy.
Yeah. Looks
He
like
is a big boy.
I don't hate
Eddie,
that.
he is a big boy if you search him out. But take a look at the size of Taiwan Walker.
But I have an issue with him.
What?
He's wearing number 00 now.
Is that a joke?
Not a joke.
00?
I saw it.
Does anyone else in the MLB wear that number?
I'd hope not.
How's that even? That's not even a number.
I mean, technically, I think it is, but it's disgusting. No one wants to see a player wear number 00.
No, that's crazy. Okay, so we got through the Jays. Do you think they could actually do something in playoffs? Do you think they have the rotation now?
No,
Okay.
there's no way. It's one of those. If there wasn't 8 teams making the playoffs this year, or if there's 6 teams like normal, they wouldn't have a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think they're getting lucky. Maybe they could make a run, but I don't think the staff's deep enough, and I don't think that the lack of playoff experience from them is going to hurt them.
Yeah, I totally agree with
Especially
you.
with the Yankees down the stretch. That's what we're missing here, is that they haven't played the Yankees very much.
That is not going to be good. I mean, the Yankees do have a lot of injuries going on right now, but they still look like a strong team.
Yeah.
Even with those injuries. Okay, moving on to Miami. They've been kind of a shocker of the year. You know, they had the COVID incident where everyone was kind of like, what the hell are they doing? And now they're doing pretty good.
Yeah. They were all right there. I saw they were 11-13. They're making up those games that they need to. Maybe all those double headers are killing them right now.
Yeah.
They weren't as hot as they were, but who knows? Their front office has done some pretty fucked up stuff. You know,
Derek Jeter.
Yeah, Derek Jeter just
now,
ruining
yeah.
the organization, but good for them. They played well so far this year.
So break down the trade. So they actually made a trade.
Yeah, so I don't have the second half of this one, but they got Starling Marte from Arizona. Arizona, obviously sellers this deadline. They're shitty again.
Classic.
Yeah, too bad. But Starling Marte going to Miami, just another vet. Yeah, who knows?
I like Starling Marte, to be honest. Like, he's one of those fantasy guys who's ranked high, but you just never want to draft him.
He was good on the Pirates. He was an all-star on the Pirates. He was a good player for them. Obviously, they didn't see what they wanted anymore, so they let him go. But
he's been having a pretty good year, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
I believe so. I think he's hitting over 300 right now.
don't hate that at all.
So he's been good.
I want the Marlins to make a push. It's a big old fuck you to everyone.
Yeah, they're an underdog team. I mean, I would like to see what their payroll is because I don't know. I can't even name one high-paying player on that team.
Don't think they have one.
So
I know they
cheering
have
for
Corey
them.
Dickerson.
Oh yeah,
He's good.
he was good for when he played for the Pirates.
Yeah.
Until he got injured. But yeah, I like Miami. They're an underdog team, same as a couple other underdog teams out there. Jays are considered an underdog team.
I'd say that for sure.
A young squad that a lot of people are cheering for. So let's go to a couple players that did not get traded.
Yes.
So
We got news out of Arlington today that both Lance Lynn and Joey Gallo aren't getting traded. They're staying in Arlington, staying with the Rangers. Interesting move. I'm kind of glad Joey Gallo didn't get moved, but maybe he's just wasting his talents there. Maybe it would have been good for him, but I like seeing Joey Gallo in that baby blue Rangers jersey. And Lance Lynn, great year so far. Great year last year,
great
too.
year last year.
Would have been a big piece for anyone, but he just didn't. Obviously, no one. He's a valuable piece, so people would have to give up a lot of stuff, and I guess none of the contenders really wanted to give up.
yeah, I'll be honest. I had Lance Lynn as a bust this year.
Really?
And obviously I was completely wrong.
No, it doesn't sound like you.
Yeah, I know. I usually am 80% accuracy. But no, Lance Lynn, man, that guy gets strikeouts.
Yeah.
I thought last year I was like, who's Lance Lynn?
Good sinker ball pitcher now.
Yeah.
Kind of reinvented his repertoire. Pretty good.
But looking at what the Padres got for Clevenger, Texas, like why? Lance Lynn is over 30 years old.
Yeah, I'd
Why not trade him
I'd
for
agree.
a couple prospects? I mean, your team is not good.
What's Texas' record this year? I'll tell you, 12-21.
That's terrible.
Yeah, you're not doing shit with that record.
They're already out of the playoffs.
Already out
in
of the playoffs.
Way shortened season, and you're not
Absolutely.
trading old guys.
Yeah, Gallo, I'd agree. Gallo's kind of mid-20s, late 20s, good, but Lance Lynn needed to be moved, I think, for Texas.
Yeah, and he's got good. It's not like his stock is down.
No.
I mean his stock was high people, I mean, I'm hearing the Dodgers were in the running, the Yankees were in the running, the Jays were in the running. You're telling me not one of those teams could give you a good package?
I'm sure the Yankees had enough to get him, but
Yeah.
who knows, man?
Yankees didn't make a move and the Dodgers didn't make a move, which shifts towards that. Which teams most disappointed you in who didn't make a trade?
I'd say I wasn't really I was disappointed in one team at the deadline, and that's the Indians. I think they're my loser of the draft. So forgetting Mike Clevenger, I think they needed to get Mackenzie Gore. He's a top 10 MLB prospect. He's the number one prospect in their system. Good left-handed pitcher, young kid. And I think they lost because of that. But teams who didn't make moves, I think the Yankees were looking to make a move, and they couldn't do that. And I don't think the Dodgers lost because they're so good. Like they're quiet this year, quiet good.
Yeah, the Dodgers have a very strong team. Looking at that Indians trade, I'm seeing like the Indians didn't get much for a guy. It's not like Clevenger's a rental. That guy has 2 years left of his contract.
Arbitration, yeah. And
At what, 4.4 mil?
Yeah, very affordable.
Very affordable. I mean, Padres are getting a stud to that rotation who already has Chris Paddock.
Yeah.
And they get to keep their best pitching prospect.
Yeah.
I mean, Cal Quantrill's a good pitcher, but he's nothing more than a top 3 starter.
He wasn't even starting for them. He's middle of the bullpen.
He's a 4-5 guy when he makes it to the league.
Yeah.
So I think the Indians, I mean, they always make a trade like this. I mean, last year they traded Bauer, and I don't think they got much for Bauer.
They got Franmil Reyes, I think, from that.
And he's been pretty good. He hasn't been terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't get a huge haul, that's for sure.
No. So looking at Boston, Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, he didn't get moved. They're just kind of sellers right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they know what they are. They know that they suck this year.
They're on the brink. Like they're in between. They kind of think they always think they have a chance.
Yeah.
I think they coming in, they thought maybe they would surprise people, but JD Martinez is looking old.
Yeah.
Old soul.
They're just sticking him in the DH like they did with Big Papi, not producing like Big Papi did.
Benintendi is just that guy is ever since winning the World Series kind of has gone down the drain.
But they did. Verdugo's been playing real well this year.
He's a good young stud. So Verdugo was in the trade for Mookie Betts, which I liked. I thought that trade was good for the Red Sox. I thought they got a lot for Mookie.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't resign him. So
the issue was that they needed to resign him, not the deal. They got a good haul. I agree.
Definitely. And then we talked about the Angels, Dylan Bundy.
Yeah.
He's at it now. There was a lot of talk of him that he was going to have a great year. I don't know what people were seeing because on the Orioles, he was not that good of a pitcher.
He was one of the highly touted high school prospects to get drafted. Huge prospect coming up. He couldn't really get it even into the Orioles rotation. He gets moved, and obviously great ERA this year.
Yeah, he's playing. He's on our fantasy platform. He is one of the top 5 pitchers.
Yeah, and if you have someone like LA's record, terrible too.
What is going on with that team, the Angels?
Who the fuck knows? They have some of the best players, Rendon, Trout, Shohei, and they're still shit every year.
I feel like they have a lot of money. And I don't know who the general manager is out there, but I'm in sports admin. They might need to get a little advice from me. But they have a lot of money and they just spend it on certain players. They just go out and they think they want to make a run and they just go sign someone that doesn't fit in.
They just get the shiny cars. They don't get the shit that they need.
Definitely agree. I mean, the rotation now, like Dylan Bundy's their ace, I believe. I don't even know who's in their bullpen.
Yeah, fuck.
I mean, they got Rendon, he's a stud. Don't get me wrong, but
your team win a World Series. But that team was built way better than this Angels team is built right now.
You got to think Trout at some point is like, get me out of here, because his reputation is starting to kind of. I mean, it's not taking a hit, but people will ask questions when.
I'd agree.
It's
at the end of his career, obviously.
Yeah.
No doubt, Hall of Famer already. But he's not even gonna. If he can't make the playoffs ever. Someone's got to call him out for that.
And I feel like Trout is such a nice guy that no one really calls him out for it. But he has just not been good. Like every time you watch playoffs, it's just never there.
It's not there. You can't market the best player in your league that well if he's never going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, that just looks terrible. That's bad on the Angels. I mean, they just done terrible management. Someone needs to get fired. I'm calling it. I mean, someone's got to get fired there. That's just my point of view. I don't know about you, Abe.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you.
Okay, that's good. So The Mets. You put Edwin Diaz here. So
Yeah.
what's going on with them?
I was reading an article, one of the ESPN guys.
Yeah.
They said the Mets were actively trying to shop Edwin Diaz, right-hand reliever, flamethrower. And they said no one fucking wanted him.
No one wanted it. I mean, you look on Twitter and you see and
Mets Twitter is fucked too. They hate their team.
I feel like every time I turn on Twitter, it's him blowing a start.
I saw a stat. He has a 5.48 ERA and save opportunities with the Mets.
Yeah. Why do they keep him in that position? Because they're paying him so much money.
Absolutely.
So I guess no one wanted Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, he was electric. I think he was Seattle before he went to the Mets. Got traded.
He was. I mean,
He was good. He had 50
he was
saves
good.
in a
He was
year.
good with Seattle, and the Mets. I believe it wasn't a trade; it was a signing.
Okay. Yeah.
I think right.
I'd believe you if that was the truth.
That's just my. I think that was a signing.
Yeah.
And they signed him for a crap ton of money, thinking this guy was going to be filthy.
No one
And
wants that contract.
No
one
well,
wants.
Who wants that big of a contract for a closer?
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's starting
It's
to
tough.
become.
It's like the running back system in the NFL, you know?
Yeah,
They can just piece together whoever, some flamethrower from the minor leagues throwing 100. Just put him in there instead.
Completely agree with you. Abe. Completely agree with you. So overall, who do you think is our big winner?
It has to be San Diego.
Yeah,
100%.
I think San Diego. The only problem I see is are they giving up way too much for a young squad?
The thing that I also read is looking at the farm systems for all the team that they acquired these great players, obviously, and still have the second best farm system projected for the next year. They didn't have to give. They gave up, I think, 6 through 9 in their top prospects.
Yeah.
But they still kept their young core and they kept all their great prospects. That's a win.
That's a hell of a stat, Dave.
Thanks.
Where did you find that?
Twitter.
I'm proud. That's a good stat. That's good to know because I thought they were giving up way too much. I mean,
No.
I feel like they're just jumping the gun. They're in contention one year and now they're like, fuck, let's go.
Yeah, I think the fans deserve them to jump the gun a little bit. It's been a long time.
It's been a while. And who are your big losers?
Big losers, obviously the Indians. Tough giving up Clevenger without getting a top prospect in return. And I don't know. I think Texas is a loser.
I agree with that. I mean, they should have sold.
They gave up the worst of their 3 potential players to trade, and I think they only got rid of the worst of the 3.
Yeah. I would also put the Jays as a winner. I like that they actually are making moves. It's good to see that the organization is moving towards a path of winning. I like that they were in talks of getting Clevenger.
Yeah.
So that means, they're ready to make that next
It's
jump.
like the signing with Ryu. Like,
Yeah.
that's not something that the old Jays would have done. I'd agree with that, and I
Yeah.
think you can put them down there as a winner.
Perfect. So let's shift towards NHL playoffs.
NHL playoffs.
Now, obviously, you've been watching the Lightning and Boston series.
Yeah.
Did you see that dirty fucking hit?
Yeah.
So
Didn't like it.
Richie absolutely drilled Yanni Gord.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was dirty. He was skating towards the boards, back turned to him, but he was hit too far out, I think, and it was a dirty hit.
It was late. He did not know it was coming.
No.
And I believe he got a 5-minute boarding call on the play, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing is they were talking about was they called the penalty because the guy was injured, which I don't agree with. Which is bullshit. Because like a guy could fake an injury, and I think he still played that game.
If you're going to be down on the ice for as long as he was, you can't come back into the game.
It's just like even minor hockey. Like you hit a guy and the guy's injured for the rest of the game. You're kind of like, dude, come on, are you kidding me? Get up. But yeah, I thought the hit was dirty. Obviously, I don't know if you follow Sean Avery on Instagram.
No, I don't.
But he was not impressed. he had a couple Instagram stories where
I heard you watching it actually.
Oh yeah, he was ripping them apart. He called them. I'm pretty sure the exact words. He called them a fat fuck. I'm pretty sure he called him buffet boy. Yeah. He called him buffet boy. A lot about his weight was mentioned. I was just like, holy crap. Sean Avery, just a classic. So Lightning are up 3-1. They're looking good. A lot of people had Boston. People are counting out Lightning because they lost 4 games swept last year, but I like the Lightning. They're a good team. They're without Stamkos. They're
Yes.
up 3-1 on
I feel
Boston.
kind of bad for Stammer too. He's been there forever.
Is he always injured?
Well, yeah, he is.
So do you know what the injury is now?
No,
I know
think
he had
it's
the
a
ab thing. But
leg now, but yeah, you feel kind of bad. He's the captain of that team.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, went further than last year. He was there last year for that blow up in the first
God.
round.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be tough, and I think they can go far this year.
Okay. So you still have the Lightning.
I got the Lightning taking the series.
So what do you think of the Islanders series? Islanders
So
are
fucking boring. I hate watching them
find
play.
even the Flyers series against Montreal, terrible series. Holy crap. Like get Montreal to the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're just a shit team. But the Flyers, you think they're high octane
Yeah, you think.
offense. They're just boring team.
And just a lot of neutral zone,
Yeah.
dump it in. But if that's the way you're going to win, who cares about what we think, you know?
It was like a while ago when the Devils played that type of style game as the
Yeah.
Islanders, and they made it to the Cup Finals. Same
Lou-
thing.
Lou
Everyone
was there. He's
Yeah,
the
Lou.
common man in this all.
I wonder if he like talks to his coaches, like, I want you to play this system.
Must be the only way they hire him. Too bad the Leafs couldn't do that.
That was they gave up Lou
Yeah.
for Dubas, and it's not been paying off at all.
No, sir.
I mean, the fact that there's probably like 4 ex-Leafs players on the Islanders roster.
Matt Martin scoring goals.
Martin.
Uncle Leo, he looks great in the fucking cage.
No one knows why he's still wearing cage. I think it's a broken jaw,
Must be.
but
Maybe he's just an animal.
he's
though.
just an animal. I mean, he's a cheap guy who gets dirty. I don't know why the Leafs got rid of him.
Yeah, it's like getting rid of Kadri, but enough for the Leafs.
Yeah,
They're
enough
out
for
of
the Leafs.
there.
Enough for the Leafs. So the Islanders are up 3-1.
Yep.
So they're up 3-1. So both series are up 3-1. The Islanders are gonna pull it off. I think they'll have I think it's gonna be a tough series next, playing Boston or the Lightning.
Yeah,
But I think overall they've impressed me.
I'd agree with that.
And then on the other side, we got Colorado. Their backup goalie. Is he
Francouz.
just terrible? Like they're
looks
looking
good.
at the scores of these games, like 5-4, 5-3,
It's like
6-4.
It's like you're watching Big 12 football. No defense,
Yeah.
just offense.
Like you got to think McKinnon's like, holy shit, get me a goalie.
yeah,
Give me someone who can stop the puck.
that's tough. Grubauer's out, but it's been a fun series. It's the exact
That's what
opposite.
you want. That's what you
it's
want.
the exact opposite of the Islanders and the Flyers.
Yeah. So I don't know. I still think it's a toss up. I know it's 3-1,
Yeah.
but I mean,
I got Stars on the money line tonight.
you got Stars. I got no one on that game. But no, okay, you got Stars. I like the Stars. They added some veterans to that team, which
Yeah,
Corey
Pavelski.
Perry. That guy's become
The
like
worm.
a goon now.
Oh, I think I've heard stories that he's always been a goon, but he's always out west playing in Anaheim that no one fucking knows. But he's a
He used to be a
greasy
skill
boy.
guy. Now he's that third line
Yeah.
guy. He's got to keep that goon
Hey,
inside
he's
of
just
him.
adapting to stay in the league. I can't hate that.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. And then the last series, who do we got here?
Vegas and
Vegas is
3-1.
3-1 Vegas. Vegas looking good.
Yeah,
I kind of didn't think they were that good, but looking at them, they got a just like all around good team.
I think Vegas has always been good,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought the Canucks would put up a good fight. The Canucks looked good in their series before, but they just don't have the same firepower. We knew it. We were just trying to hold on to the last Canadian team there, but they're done for.
Yeah, I think they're done for. We saw Reeves. We saw the clip of Reeves chirping a
Revo,
coach.
yeah.
You gotta love that.
What a guy.
I mean, you have a player chirping a coach. if I'm a good, I'm decent at lip reading, but I think I heard the coach say, like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah,
To Reeves.
classic comeback there.
But Reeves was, I guess Reeves was yapping at a bunch of players.
He's
all
the
series.
best in the
Yep.
league at his job. I think. Like, people are good at scoring goals. Like, McKinnon's really good at scoring goals. Reeves is the best at just being a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's just a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's what he is. And Vegas loves him.
Yeah.
I mean,
As they should.
St. Louis loved him when he played there.
Absolutely.
And that's a player that now has become rare in the NHL.
Sandpaper. I like it.
Yeah.
A little grit.
Like Matt Martin is up there. He's the same type of guy.
Yeah.
Just get in there and chirp guys.
All the boys on the team love
yeah,
him.
everyone loves him. He's a good morale guy. But yeah, so those are kind of our predictions,
Yep.
right?
Looking forward to seeing them come true, obviously.
Of course. So let's talk a little bit about our weekend this weekend.
Oh, fuck.
So Avery and I went to a golf tournament. A little friendly match. Now that Avery is he's gotten the call for the invitational. Describe the weekend. How'd it go?
First Friday, terrible course.
This could potentially be the worst course.
Where did we play? We're gonna
Bowman-
send a PSA. We're gonna.
Bowman Golf and Country Club. Like this is like
You
to
guys
wake
need
up.
to shut down. Just a disgusting act for course.
Those could have been the worst fairways. Like you show up, you read the reviews. You don't think they're going to
As
be
bad.
accurate.
You think it's just an
You're
old
just like
man,
3.9 rating out of
Yeah.
5, whatever. Like let's go play.
like a Karen, just complaining that day
Yeah.
because they shot 120.
There was a review, like I think it was 2 days ago. It said fairways are dried up. We were like, okay, that's bullshit. We show up. I'm telling you, I've never seen more yellow in my life.
But you had the best round of the weekend, I think, for yourself.
Myself, Avery he was in my cart with me. I was red hot.
Fucking on fire.
2 birdies, shot
Electric.
at 94, 51 on the front, 43 on the back. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
That does make sense. 43 on the back, almost pinned one from 60 yards out.
That was electric.
And then Saturday we went to a different course.
Different course. Finally, a course that we could actually play. Saw some green. That was nice.
It was a good course. I liked it.
Played from the tips. Round 2.
Yeah.
Hard as fuck.
It
Little
was
long.
it was a harder course. Avery and I thought it was harder. Played 2 rounds, 36 holes. Then Sunday was championship round.
Championship Sunday. Jeremy, how many shots back were you? Of
I was
me?
1 shot back from Avery.
1 shot back. Say the scores of round 4.
So I had a rough round. No double par. Usually sometimes we play double par.
Yeah, we're not that good.
We're not that good. I should have won 18. Pretty embarrassing. After hole 4, after getting an 8 on a par 3, I was kind of debating on just leaving.
You said you wanted to leave. You
I said I
it.
wanted to leave multiple times.
Yeah.
And I just had to stick it out. 118, worst round out of the whole tournament.
Yeah. Out of anyone.
Still finished 3rd, which still shocks me of how shitty the golfers were.
Yeah. The bottom 3.
Yeah.
Not too great. Sorry,
So
boys.
3rd place finish I'll take.
Yeah.
Avery finished 2nd.
Second.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Great
We'll get it
weekend.
next time.
So we'll get to see live footage of Avery golfing at the next invitational. But yeah, so overall, talked about the deadline,
Yep.
talked about the playoffs,
Absolutely.
talked about our weekend.
Great show.
It was a great show. This is the first ever just intern show.
Yeah, you went great.
And we will see you next Thursday.